right, ladies and gents, so today we had a lot of problems with fractions in it. The decimal ones, really not so bad. You just use your calculator to figure those out. But let's look at a couple of them that have fractions. So 24 and 25, hopefully you got done in class. Let's look at 26. If you're already done with it, just check your work and I'll show you what I would do with it. So the problem is 1 1/3 times p plus 1 equals 1 2/3. Now, I don't like the thirds, but here's what I see. If everything has a third in it, then I could just multiply every single piece by 3, and that would help those things to go away. So let's see. This is 1 1/3 times 3. I could also write that as 4/3. So 4/3 times 3. Watch this. That simplifies out. So I get 4p from there. 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 2/3. Let's see. That is 5/3. Oops, that should say times 3. Sorry. Times 3. Look at that. I just get 5. This problem right here is a ton easier. So, again, basically what happens is if I multiply every single piece by 3, it's kind of like saying, hey, I've got 1/2. If I multiply the top by 3 and the bottom by 3, I now have 3/6. Well, that is still an equivalent fraction. So here, this is the same. If I multiply every single piece by 3, I still have an equivalent relation. So I draw my line down. Then I say, okay, times 4 plus 3. So I'm going to undo the 3 first. So I minus 3. And I get 2. Drop down my 4p. How do I undo that? Divided by 4. Oh no, I get a fraction answer? Yeah, most of them will. So p equals 1/2. Done. Yeah, hooey. Let's try another one. How about 27? 27 has a decimal. So on that one, I'm going to say just use your calculator. You should be able to figure that out. 28. 28 says negative 3/4 y plus 1/4 equals 1/2. You could just choose to do it with fractions in it, but I'm going to say let's get rid of that 4 and 2. So what is a good common, what is the least common multiple of 4, 4, and 2? You could multiply everything by 8, but I'm going to say, hey, both of those things go into 4. So let's just multiply everything by 4, by 4, and by 4. So negative 3/4 times 4, look at that, simplifies out to 1. So I get negative 3y. Some other people say, well, I did 3 divided by 4 times 4. Exactly. Perfect. It works every time. This one, if I simplify out, cross simplify, look at that. I get plus 1. And 4 times 1/2 gives me 2. Now this one, so much easier to go through and do negative 3y plus 1 equals 2 than it was to do that other piece with the fractions. So minus 1. And so I get negative 3y equals 1. How do I undo that? Negative 3. It's times right now, so I divide by negative 3. So my answer is negative 1/3. Doesn't matter where that negative sign is. Doesn't matter. It can be on the top, in the middle, or on the bottom, as long as it stays there. Let's check 29. So 29 says negative 5/4 equals negative 1/2. All right, here's a multiplication. Oops, I forgot to put the x in there. How do I undo that negative 5/4? Well, put your two hands out in front of you in fists. And how do you undo negative 5/4? You multiply by negative 4/5, because look at that goes to 1, that goes to 1. They simplify out, and I'm left with 1x. Do you see how the signs are the same? Because a negative times a negative makes a positive. So over here, I write times negative 4/5, and people say, well, yeah, but the negative. Doesn't matter where it is. What I know is I've got a negative times a negative It's going to give me a positive. Then I get 4 over 10, or I could just simplify that right away. 2 over 1, so I get 2/5. There it is. Let's try another one. 30 has decimals, so I think you can do that one. 31 has a decimal. I think you can do that one. 32 just has a 1/3, so how do you undo that? But let's look at 33. 33 says 2/7 k minus 1/14 k equals -3. So I don't want that 7 and 14 down there. So what is the least common multiple of 7 and 14? I could do 84, but that's like ginormous. What I know is that 7 and 14 both go into 14. So I'm going to times it by 14. So I get 2 and 1, so I get 4k. And 14, look at that, simplifies out, minus 1k equals, got to times it by 14 over here. 3 times 14 is 2, carry the 1, -42. Now look right here. Can you put those two together? You bet you can. You have 4 k's, you take away 1, and so you now have 3 k's equals -42. These aren't that bad. You can do it. Divide by 3, divided by 3. So 3 goes in there 14 times. So k equals positive 14 or negative 14? Good. -14. Done. So that should help you a bunch. Keep plugging away at them. When you hit 34 and 35, make sure you do some distributing and see what you come up with those. I'm going to let you work through those. I'm going to let you work through the word problems. But this right here should get you a really good start.